This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 973, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello. Hello.
And just like last episode, Jamie and Derek are MIA. And just like MIA, they're also Christian. Anyway, so sitting in this week from Houston is downtown Emily Brown.
Hello.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, for now, Relevant Senior Editor Tyler Huxley.
Howdy.
You want to tell them?
We can tell them. Yeah.
I mean, you'll be like on a plane.
By the time they hear this, I'll be on a plane. Yeah, but it's true. But I'm currently in Nashville, Tennessee, and we'll be relocating temporarily, but for a little while. An extended relocation out to Paris, France, to the Paris, France office for Relevant Magazine, which is weirdly pretty busy. It seems like we have a Paris correspondent somewhat regularly and have since 2019 or so. But Liz and I are heading out there.
Yeah, but this is your second extended stint.
But this one's going to be longer than the first one. This is going to be.
This is true. That was
Tyler told me somewhere between 3 and 9 months. We don't know. And then I saw his wife announce their move on Instagram, and she said, "We're going to go into Paris for a year." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. That was not my. Well, we haven't had a chance to discuss that yet, but that's not.
You might want to discuss that before you leave,
Tyler. It seems to me that that's something you guys probably should have covered.
Yeah, I think so. All I know is what the government is allowing me to do, and I don't think the visa. I don't think we can make this story kind of fast, but to get a visa for the kind of visa that we needed to relocate to France, we had to go to Atlanta. And Cameron and Emily, you both remember this day because it was ended up being. I told Liz that I think it was the most stressful day we have had as a couple together. And I stand by that. Wow. So we got on the car, we drove to Atlanta, we got there and we gave ourselves all kinds of time. We had rehearsed the night before, we each posed as the agent asking the other person questions about the stay. So we felt very, very prepared for what this experience was going to be like.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you're making it sound like you're up to something very shady.
I know.
Yeah, you got to rehearse.
You're saying one story publicly. You're saying anher story publicly. You're rehearsing.
It was an overprepared situation.
But let me ask you this: overprepared for what exactly?
For an Ocean's 11 type.
Are you guys pulling off some sort of heist?
Are you taking some cake with you to Paris?
So we got there in enough time. We got there right around noon. Appointment was at 1:00. We're like, well, let's get a little lunch. There was a cheesecake factory right next door. So we went in, got ourselves a little cheesecake factory with
you 20 had minutes a 4,800 calorie lunch right before your meeting.
I just went to the middle of the menu, 50 pages deep or so, and pointed at something and went for it. Yeah. And we went over to the building next door. We were about 15 minutes early for our appointment, which they tell you're not even supposed to be there until about 10 minutes early. We walked in feeling good, and we're like, "Hello, we're here for our visa appointment." He looks at it and says, "You are in the wrong place." And it turns out the actual place we needed to be was 20 minutes away from there. So we jumped in the car. My wife drove like Batman across to Atlanta while I was on the phone trying to get him to change our appointment. And I thought that I was going to have an actual heart attack on the street. I was so stressed out, and I was like in the wind for Cameron and Emily. They were, because I told them that it would just be like 30 minutes and I'd be back in getting some stuff done for Relevant, which did not happen because I ended up having to turn my phone in when you go in there. They yelled at me when I got, because I didn't have, as it turns out, I didn't have everything that I needed. I thought I did. I walked out being like, I just don't think this is supposed to happen. I thought for sure they were going to say
no. Sir, where's the baguette?
So it worked out though. You got your.
It did. Well, yeah, it did work out. We got approved.
I'm excited for you. I'm also excited that in October I will be there as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, what's your trip, Cameron?
Literally, Tyler said he's going to Paris and he had a guest room, and I said, "How long are you there?" He said, somewhere between 3 months and 3 years. And I said, well, then I will avail myself of your guest room if that's a real offer. He said, of course. And talked to my kid. He's got a big birthday coming up this fall. I checked out my Delta miles. We can both go to Paris round trip for free and stay for free. Let's go to Paris, y'all.
No reason not to.
That's what we're doing.
Good luck getting that visa situations figured out. Can't say I recommend it.
I just wing it. I don't know.
I'm just going to show up in Paris.
I also might just show up because I kind of like doing that now. Just showing up in places.
Yeah, you're good at this, Emily. I never know where you're going to be next.
Literally every staff meeting, we're like looking at the background of where she is going, where are you? I'm at a coffee shop in Austin. Oh, okay. When did you go to Austin? Last night. I drove through the night. Wait, what?
Emily, what city are you in right now? Or do you even know?
Technically, I'm in Bel Air, but I'm in Houston.
Okay.
So.
And then in 2 weeks, she'll be in Orlando. Then she's going to Destin. And I've been trying to prep her for coming to Florida.
Yeah, prepped by scaring me.
Yesterday,
you keep sending me only stories about alligators.
A headline from Orlando Weekly this morning that a guy in Tampa went into a pond trying to get his Frisbee back and got eaten alive by an alligator. I sent her that headline.
He sent me like 20 of those, like person wrestled with alligator, person bit by alligator, person killed by alligator. And
in
every time
they're just roaming the streets right now like cockroaches, just alligators everywhere.
The alligator to human ratio is 1-to-1 in my mind.
At least that's generous.
And every single time I'm like, I'm going to cancel my flight. I'm not going to come out there because I am not about to
know what? If the alligators don't get you, the massive mosquitoes will, or the humidity will suffocate you. You're gonna die.
Humidity's fine. I've dealt with that.
Yeah. Or you'll find yourself in Disney jail for a variety of different crimes. So pick your poison there, Emily.
Yeah. Orlando sounds like a dangerous place for me, but
it's a very dangerous place.
We'll make it work.
I'm telling you just got to watch it. Danger around every corner.
I have a list of things to avoid in Orlando, and it keeps getting longer and longer with
the
everything.
Outside rides,
Disney jail.
Yeah.
Every sort of alligator.
I think eventually just Orlando, just blanket. Yeah, make it a blanket.
They built Disney on a swamp. It's just like Houston. Something shouldn't be there. Nature is trying to take it back, So, I mean,
just think about this, Emily. It's a perfectly safe place, but it's locked in an eternal struggle for man's impulse to build and develop and nature's to kill every human. So other than that, it's fine. You're going to love it.
Other than that, tiny thing can have a blast.
Okay, y'all, we're slow rolling this, but you saw the episode title when you hit play. Our guest today is none other than probably the most influential man in Hollywood, Jon Favreau. Tyler and I were talking about this the other day. I can't think of anybody who has had more of an impact in cinema in the last 30 years than him. I mean, all the way from independent film, Swingers. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer. But then he went to the Marvel universe, and now he's writing and directing Star Wars. He's just like creating things completely by himself, which is unbelievable. And they're just absolutely stunning. I am a huge fan. Jon Favreau is coming up.
But what's his new project like?
This is very exciting. You'll hear all about it. But he worked on there's nothing quite like it. Documentary is probably the best way to describe it, but it's called Prehistoric Planet. You may have seen some trailers for it, but Sir David Attenborough, who of course is known for his many nature documentaries like Planet Earth series, Blue Planet, he is now doing a Prehistoric Planet in which Jon Favreau is directing a documentary about dinosaurs, which are CGI'd in with the advice and input and consultation of numerous paleontologists to make sure that this is as accurate to life as we can tell from the fossil record. So you're basically watching a documentary about dinosaurs, seeing these dinosaurs. It looks fantastic. It's very, very convincing to watch. I really, really enjoyed this. I'm a big fan of Attenborough's documentaries. Wasn't sure if this one was going to work because it sounds a little bit like it could be kind of a stretch.
Like you're watching a video game or something. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that sort of thing. But honestly, I love this. Is kind of what my favorite parts of Jurassic Park is when you just get to watch the dinosaurs be cool instead of the like action sequences, like just really beautiful computer animation to take you there. And that's all this is. I liked it. Really enjoyed getting to talk to Jon about it. And I think you'll enjoy the conversation. It was a fun one.
If you have Apple TV Plus, it is the big thing that they're promoting right now. So
I feel like Jon Favreau's just had like after his like Vince Vaughn period that you mentioned, Cameron.
Right.
I feel like his career strategy has just been like, what is awesome to an 8-year-old, and I'm going to center all my professional decisions around that. He's like Iron Man, yes,
It's working for
Star
him.
Wars,
Mandalorian,
dinosaurs,
But you know, like, but then he'll go and do Chef, and he'll his actual authentic passions come out, and like he does indie films and stuff too. Like the dude literally writes and directs and stars in some of the most influential cinema.
He might be one of the most creative people in Hollywood.
Yeah. He just knows how to deliver on what people want. Like whatever that thing is where you can tell, I know what people want to see on a movie out of a specific franchise or a piece of IP or idea. That's kind of the whole game in Hollywood, and Favreau's really good at it. It was cool to talk to him, especially for, his influence is huge, but he's just good at what he does too. He's just a talented guy.
Very cool. It's coming up. All right. Well, don't miss it. We also have at the end of the show, we have a game that's a very timely game.
True.
Called Tom Cruise-a-Palooza. Tom Cruise-a-Palooza is coming up later. You don't want to miss it.
By the way, if that was a real festival, I wouldn't even need to know any more details.
I'm in.
But stay tuned right now. Up next, it's Slices.
To the day when you're trying to find the one, why do you need reminding? No matter how you look at it, it's me you keep finding. Trying to find the one, what you're seeking ain't hiding. Trying to find the one, it's me you keep finding. Why you looking for the one? When your search is done. Why you looking for the one? When your search is done. Head to head, toe to toe, showing up to go. They be sleeping on the heat, yeah. So
You're listening to MIA. The song is The One. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right, so I'm interested just around the table. Do you guys remember the first time you felt like, okay, I am like an official grown up right now? Like what age was that?
Wait, that happens?
Yeah,
someday, baby.
But where
I'm the guy wearing
like,
flip flops and an Orlando Magic hat, and I'm in my mid 40s. You know, like I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's hit me yet.
We spent an extensive amount of time talking about alligator attacks, so I think most people are eliminated, right? But Tyler, Emily, do you remember a moment?
I feel like I've had moments where I felt like an adult, but overall, there's still so much I'm trying to figure out. And I don't feel like I don't know if I would say I 100% feel like an adult all the time, because there's still a lot of things I call my parents and ask them about, which I feel, I mean, that's not you can be however old and still do that. But I feel like I still call them more than a 26-year-old should.
What kind of questions?
Yeah, so you have Google in your hand. Pretty much all the time.
Honestly, a lot of times when it deals with like money stuff, like taxes, every single year I call my parents and I do TurboTax, which is so easy to use. And yet I still call them and I'm like, this is a W-2, right? They're like, yes, Emily.
It says on the top, W2.
I know, but I just need someone to confirm it for me. Taxes really scare me.
It seems like it's a little involved.
I don't think I've ever done my taxes right. I probably shouldn't admit that. But like every single year I submit them, I always
one
think
day
I'm
if you're
get
ever
caught
on
for
trial,
tax
they're going
fraud.
to play back this audio clip like other trials.
But now she's got plausible deniability. She just didn't know.
Didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
They did not teach this in high school.
It wasn't deliberate.
Well, the brand Avocado Green Brands recently commissioned a study. I'm assuming because when you start buying avocados, that's a very adult. That's an adult decision.
Yeah, that's
right
a sign.
there.
Maybe we should
You
buy
don't
more
see many-
avocados.
It goes Pop-Tarts, and then at some point you switch to avocados, and there's no turning
You
back.
see very few children request an avocado, like voluntarily. Like, oh, little Johnny's really maturing here. He's making homemade guac. But they did a survey to find out when most Americans feel like they became an adult. Now, 53% said 18, which is obviously the legal age. That to me seems preposterous because I remember being 18 and I think I was less mature then than I was at like 14 for some reason. But the number 2 right behind it was age 30. Now that seems like kind of late in life to consider yourself adult, but they did they basically said like, here's a criteria of things that when you do these, how this is confirmation that you're adult, and this is why it correlated with age 30. So a lot of people said live on my own is a sign that they've arrived at adulthood. Right, but after that was like buy a house, get married, have a bank account, have kids. Those are great. Those are all signs of adulthood. I like the bottom of the list, that these are the things that a surprisingly large percentage of the population said that once I did this, I knew I was an adult. The last one was make my bed every morning. Look, I don't even do that, so I don't consider myself an adult. No. Buy a full matching set of dishes. Once again, I don't think I'm an adult by this standard. Shop at places that offset their shipping costs. Start caring about the environment. I like this. Frame all my
a lot of kids that care about the environment. It's actually they're kind of leading the charge.
That 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
How about this one? Frame all of my wall art / my wall hanging / art in my house. That one I do feel like is the ultimate sign. When you go from like college dorm room where you're just like, putting up whatever poster with like tape and thumbtacks and start framing, I feel like that is a sign of, okay, I've arrived. I feel like that is probably the most accurate one across the board because to your point, Cameron, there's kids who care about the environment. There's young people that are already, good with their finances. Once you start framing stuff, that's adulthood right there. That's a very adult decision.
Also, because framing stuff costs $1,000. Like it makes no sense. You spend so much money to get cool art, and then you take it into Hobby Lobby or wherever your local framing supplier, and they're like, "Well, hang on, let me do a little math here. All right, that'll be $16,000 to get this single like 8.5 by 11 thing frame." Like, well, why at this point, like the art isn't even the frame is just that's just the carrier. I don't need the frame. I wanted the painting. I got a little
hack for you. I got a little hack. Oh, yeah? I did this in my 20s.
I'm
so larger scale art, makes a room feel more decorated and stuff. And so that's really expensive to frame, like literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
It's huge. Yeah.
Here's what you can do. If you have a modern aesthetic at all, or if modern, details look good in your vibe, if you go to IKEA sells a lot of frames with mats, like large size, whatever, for like $20. Okay. If you take that frame and your art to a framing store or an art supply store or something like that, where they cut mats, pay just to get the mat custom sized to, have the big IKEA frame, standard size, and then have the mat cut custom. That's like $20 or $30. So then you're just paying for the custom touch for the mat. And all in, you're $75.
Okay,
and which is
pretty good. Yeah,
comparable to a $200, $300, $400 option if you just went to the framing store.
For sure. Okay, all right. That's maybe even more adult. Than
hacking the adult
is having a hack for how to frame.
That's true.
Framed.
Well, it's because I'm selectively cheap and I want to have that cool big piece of art, but I ain't going to pay that framing company. So
you've got a lot of cool art in the house. I've seen you have like a lot. Like there's a lot of cool stuff.
But when you go in and you ask for that service, they're basically sign you up for an AARP card right there. They're like, okay, this is obviously someone on the other side of adulthood right now.
If you have a favorite mat cutting store, then you're in the AARP.
That's not good.
If you don't want to go there, you want to go to Sam Flax.
If someone asks you your weekend plans and you tell them you're going to the mat cutting store, it's like, okay, that's, go get the early bird special at Luby's too at 5:00.
I've literally watched YouTube videos on how to build my own frames because I will not pay those framing store prices. It is 4 pieces of wood cut at an angle. Come on. No wonder
the Greens can afford to keep the Museum of the Bible. It's all that framing money.
Full of artifacts.
Hobby Lobby.
Very real, very legitimately acquired artifacts.
When you think that like literally Hobby Lobby is worth as much as Tesla, and you're like, how is this possible? They're like, it's all picture frames.
That makes sense.
Got a lucrative.
The highest margin product in American history is a frame.
If the Greens wanted to buy Twitter, they could do it tomorrow. Cash. No problem.
Oh, yeah.
They would pay in picture frames. Like the CEO's we can do a stock
shareholders would take it. They'd be like, man, that's more valuable than money.
Give you 5 picture frames for Twitter.
Whoa. Buy.
Basically, if you could tell me right now, I have a bunch of Bitcoin or I have a bunch of picture frames.
Dude,
I'm at the point where I'm taking the picture frames.
It's not even a question.
The tangible asset right there.
Yeah. That's 15 picture frames. Retiring tomorrow.
You want to talk non-fungible picture frames.
We need to bring some regulation to the framing industry. It's been gouging Americans for generations.
They're extorting. They're extorting us.
Biden? Where are you at, Biden?
Yeah. Cancel student debt and then regulate the framing industry.
You can either have your debt canceled or you can get 6 picture frames. Which would you rather?
Take the 6. I mean, that's an
easy one.
That's more than my 10 grand. Yeah.
No
All
brainer.
right. What do you have, Emily?
This is a great transition from talking about what it means to be an adult to this. There is a new product on the market. It is essentially edible tape, and it is to keep your burrito together. So you make a burrito, you fill it with all the
foil wrapper.
No, but you can't eat foil.
You peel it down as you go.
Too much.
It's too much work. I agree.
Yeah.
My method usually is to just get the bag of chips and put it on a plate and just allow the burrito to naturally explode and just eat nachos after. That's been my method because I'm not going to monkey around with tin foil.
That's a good hack.
That's not bad.
If you had edible tape, would you use it?
Oh yeah, I would probably just. Can I just get an order of tape, please?
But he doesn't have the edible tape, so he gets 2 entrees. He gets a burrito and nachos. That's better.
It is more bang.
But the edible tape was it bubble tape that you could just peel and eat? What are we talking here, Emily?
It's like Scotch tape.
It is. It's like I honestly don't know the science behind it.
Duct tape?
It's not packing tape.
Electrical tape?
It comes on wax paper and its adhesiveness is activated by moisture.
Is it a fruit roll up?
It is a fruit roll up. I was trying to hide it. No.
In the picture I saw, it was blue, which is a little concerning because most food isn't blue, and that edible tape is. But I could see it. I would not be opposed to trying one round of. You just wrap it around the burrito 15 times and go at it from there, or do you just do a polite little strip across the seam of the burrito?
I guess it depends. See, I don't know what it tastes like. So
I don't know either.
I think they went from tape when the real solution is a patch, because when I get my burrito rolled up, I can see okay, it's bursting right there. Don't even try to finish rolling that. And the person always goes
like the patch that they give you when you buy a pool float or an inner tube.
Exactly. I want when I get my burrito to get a burrito patch that I can patch up a hole when it inevitably bursts.
You're literally more willing to work to patch a burrito than just slightly tear the foil wrapper that they gave you as you go down and eat it.
Exactly. I want to just mow into that thing.
You want to hold it. You want to hold it raw in your hand, and if it explodes, you're going to patch the explosion. But
but think about this. So let's paint the scene here. Let's say I'm driving and I really want a burrito. I can't take both hands off the wheel to peel the foil.
She's right.
I only have one hand, and if I have my tape, I'm good to go.
It's complicated. A taped burrito would be easier to eat in the car if you're driving than having to work with all the aluminum foil.
And as someone who's living in their car right now, basically, I'm not really, but sort of living in their car, that is a good product.
It's a consideration.
Now, are they selling this to restaurants, or is this a consumer product? Are we talking B2B burrito tape here, or are we going
it looks
straight
just
to the
like
consumer?
a consumer product.
No, I would bring. So here, theoretically, I would bring my own tape to Chipotle.
Correct.
And patch it. Okay.
You wouldn't look like a crazy person putting some sort of waxy blue strip all around your burrito. No, you would look totally normal.
Get it. People would get it. They would.
Sounds
They
delicious.
would be jealous. They would ask where you got that.
Well, who would be jealous? The guy over there eating his burrito and then turning it into a plate of free nachos? No, he's not jealous. He's like, look at that idiot taping up their burrito.
This sounds like a Shark Tank invention gone bad. Like
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Who asked for edible tape? I'm sorry.
John Hopkins University made this. I don't know if I clarified that.
No.
So
That's not. I mean,
the medical school.
this is where they're putting their time and energy.
Wait a second. Don't they need actual tape for sutures and like surgeries?
Don't
and
think
stuff?
about it too hard.
I don't want to ask where they got the materials for this.
Yeah,
tape.
where did they?
I won't ask any questions. Nope, we're already asking too many questions.
Why did they need to go from stitches to edible tape? Like what? So you can chew off your after your surgery heals. You can just
it's clearly for mouth sores. You know.
Everybody knows that during the COVID era, hospitals were notoriously very bored and didn't have anything to do. So they put all their time and energy.
Yeah, we're not in a pandemic or anything. Hey, we need to put more resources behind that edible tape.
I know something we can do, guys.
Wonder if we can make some blue tape you can eat.
All right. What do you have, Tyler?
Is there? Nope, I don't have a transition for this. We're just gonna have to go right into it. All right, and this is late breaking news from Relevant Magazine. I don't think anybody else has jumped on this story yet, but I'm interested in it. So I'm following the escalation, the evolution. I might even say the radicalization of one Franklin Graham and a dark journey that he is on. That I don't know where it's going to end up, but I'm going to take you as far as it's gone right now, and we'll see where it goes from here. Franklin Graham, of course, son of famed evangelist.
Before you get into it, Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a good
is
question.
His new issue that he's repeatedly posting about and advocating about? What do you think it is? Franklin Graham.
Well, I
deeply cares about this issue.
I unfortunately, I already know.
Oh, because we follow Tyler on Twitter. All right.
But I will say this. For some reason, I don't know why, I just wasn't surprised. It was like, that seems on brand. That I don't know why, but for some reason, nothing shocks me with him anymore.
All right, dear listener.
Let's catch everybody up.
If you haven't seen this, dear listener,
because he seems like the type of guy that gets very, very worked up about very, very minor things. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So, dear listener, if you know Franklin Graham, head of Samaritan's Purse, whatever. He's gotten into the political space. He's tweeted big opinions about things. Just put in your head the thing you think is the issue that he's now all about on his social media. And I'll give you a second. Okay, now Tyler, take it away.
All right. So we're gonna go down the rabbit hole with Franklin Graham here to see how he's turned into where he's at right now. And then we can maybe speculate a little bit about where we think it might go from here. So our story really begins, I would say, on May 18th, when Franklin Graham shared a story on Twitter and Instagram with his 2.5 million Twitter followers about his, and this is a quote, his favorite place in the world. Okay. Favorite place in the world. He says he feels right at home here, and that is McDonald's. So McDonald's, before this, there is zero mention of McDonald's on Franklin Graham's, any social media of Franklin Graham's that I could find. But he says now this is his favorite place. He was in Liverpool when he posted this, that he felt right at home, and he posted A, how much he loved their food, and B, he praised them for pulling out of Russia following Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. He says he praised there will be an end to the fighting in Ukraine. So right now, all we know is that Franklin Graham likes McDonald's and he's glad that they left Russia. Okay, that's where this begins. Shortly thereafter, in fact, the very next day, May 19th, he tweets again from another McDonald's, this time in London. He said, this McDonald's has the very best fried apple pies. And there's a picture of him. I wish you could see it, because he is sitting at a McDonald's. He has the McDonald's Detrius kind of surrounding him, and he is holding 2 fried apple pies up to the camera, to like those little
happy
like
as a kid
pies.
on Christmas.
He looks like a man at complete peace with himself and with the world. Like
The best day of his
he
life.
is truly in his happy. Like, he's not lying. He's not exaggerating about how happy he is. He is really, really enjoying his day 2 here at this McDonald's, and he's really, really loving fried apple pies. He hashtagged it quarter pounder, and he hashtagged it again, happy place. So again, this is still okay. Like, he's enjoying life. He's appreciating the simple pleasures. But the journey really isn't over yet. May 23rd, 4 days later, he's back at McDonald's again. This time he's posting, and he's not smiling anymore. It's another photo, but he looks a little hungrier. So there's been a break, and he's looking at the camera with an urgency, and he writes in all caps, "I'm calling on McDonald's to bring back the fried apple pie in America! ! I just arrived in Sheffield, UK, where I'll be preaching this week. Preaching seems to be a very distant consideration right now of his. And my first stop was, you can guess where, the local McDonald's.
Of course.
Yes, I had my quarter pounder with cheese, and of course, a fried apple pie. He says, I appeal to McDonald's corporate management, bring back the fried apple pies. We don't want the baked ones. We'll call it the Great Fried Apple Pie Comeback. Are you in?" And then he left it.
Wait, I don't know if he's branding the marketing campaign for this.
Yeah.
We'll call it the Great Apple Pie Comeback.
So I looked into this a little bit because I was confused.
Can I also note too?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get this thing in the weeds, but he's known for organizing large scale protests of brands that he feel like has run afoul of his values.
Right.
The way he's wording this doesn't just seem like an opportunity for McDonald's. Seems like a veiled threat to me. It seems like a threat.
There's an or else. There's an unspoken or else at the end of this for sure. Don't test Franklin Graham and Samaritan's Purse on this. So I did a little research here, because in my mind, I thought they had apple pies at McDonald's. Like in my thinking, you could still go in and get these. It turns out he is actually right. There was a fried apple pie that was introduced the same year in the same menu as the Big Mac in 1968. In 92, they pulled the fried apple pie over health concerns. Big government got their fingers in this one, and they decided to replace.
Or McDonald's was like,
it's a hot pocket full of fructose. Of course they pulled it over health concerns.
They should have pulled the whole menu then.
They replaced it with a baked apple pie. So over in the UK, you can still get a fried apple pie. You can actually also get that in Hawaii. But other than that, if you go to McDonald's and get an apple pie, you're getting a baked apple pie. Franklin Graham, not good enough. He says we need to get back to the fried apple pie, and he's not going to sit down until, I guess, they bring it back. Now, that was about a week ago as of this recording. It's all been quiet on the front since then, but I am monitoring the situation because I am a little worried. I do feel like he is not really posting about he's in the UK allegedly to be preaching. Not seeing a lot of that on the social media feed.
He is preaching. Right,
yeah, those events have been canceled because priorities have shifted at this point.
Yeah. He's calling on McDonald's. I mean, like it is like. My thing is, like, is he earnest or is he laughing as he posts this stuff? I can't tell.
So earnest. I think he's so earnest.
I can't. He doesn't strike me as like a.
I don't think
he jokester.
Yeah.
I don't think he really understands the concept of irony. If he seems pretty detached from that, I think this seems to have taken over his primary. There's lots of things happening in the culture wars right now, and this is top of the list. For him,
this is his mission field, and he takes it very seriously.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
I think this is a good. You know what? We've had our disagreements with Franklin Graham at Relevant Magazine. He said some things that I can't really support. I really have no issue with him on this one, though.
when you're
Godspeed,
right,
Franklin
Graham.
Graham.
It is my full support. Bring it back.
McDonald's.
If we're talking,
but what are y'all talking about? Apparently, they pulled it according to your reporting in '92. We don't remember the fried apple pie.
Yeah, and I would love to know what it tasted like.
What if it's terrible, Emily? And you just went with Franklin Graham's recommendation?
That's something I'm willing to be wrong about.
This is a slow burning scandal that slipped under the radar for the last 30 years. It's about time Franklin brought it to the forefront where it belongs. Thank you, good sir.
It really is amazing. I don't think I've ever seen a political or faith leader post so many times about a fast food restaurant in a row.
Very clearly.
With the same gusto that he's about
but it
the Supreme
escalated. The
Court
gusto
right now.
escalated, and it ended with a full paragraph in all caps. It's just
there's more exclamation points.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
this man does have. I do want to note this on May 25th. Okay, this is after the fried apple pie post that called all Americans to ring McDonald's bell and get the fried apple pie back. He posted, quote, "Had quick lunch today at Pizza Express in Sheffield, UK. Best pizza ever. # thin crust." And there's a picture of him giving a thumbs up over, it looks like a really mediocre pizza. I gotta be honest with you, but I'm not eating it, so I can't. I don't know.
Visiting these beautiful, international cities and just popping in McDonald's, and that's
Pizza Express.
Yeah.
This is so funny. He's posting like it's 2009 and people didn't know what to do with Instagram, so they just posted about their meal or tweeted going to get lunch now. Is that what we're supposed to do? Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, there's more where that came from. Check out relevantnice.com for all the hard-hitting news. Stay tuned. Up next, Jon Favreau joins us.
Brooklyn, baby. I'm a fool thinking you could save me. Now I don't care if you love or hate me, but I used to. Brooklyn, baby.
You're listening to Flip Turn. The song is Brooklyn Baby. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the barbarian way. Available now wherever books are sold. Well, our guest today is Jon Favreau. He's an actor and filmmaker known for his work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, The Mandalorian, Swingers, one of my favorite movies, Chef, another one of my favorite movies, and so much more. He sat down with our very own downtown Tyler Huckabee to discuss his new project, Prehistoric Planet, and why it's important to focus on Earth's natural history right now. Here's our conversation with the one and only Jon Favreau.
There are many ways to describe life on this planet. Some creatures could be called magnificent, or monstrous. Perhaps misunderstood. But only a few creatures who roam this earth could be called all three.
So I was really excited when I first heard about Prehistoric Planet because I obviously really, really love dinosaurs. And when I heard Jon Favreau was going to be taking the lead on this, one of the things I was interested in was hearing what it was like for him to move into this world of documentary filmmaking, coming from the world of creating cinema, of making movies. And so here's what he had to say about that.
You know, remember, we're coming from two different worlds, this team. You have, this team has worked on, other than me, they've worked on all those Planet Earth documentaries, all of these really rich, scientific, entertaining, long-form cinematic, new style of documentary that was such an inspiration for the team that I've been working with. We're more the CGI tech team. When we were working on Lion King and Jungle Book, we were looking at these documentaries and trying to emulate what they were able to do. So there was a big learning curve where the group of people I've worked with had to learn how documentaries are made, and the documentary teams had to learn how to use technology to help create the magic trick of making it seem like it was happening and unfolding before your eyes. So I would say I probably learned the most because I had no background in any of this, and I was hopefully able to shepherd people who had never really worked in the visual effects space, like our documentary side of the team, into this, so that now after 2-3 years, they're all experts in this area, and hopefully I'm coming up to speed on documentaries. And so we really were able to plug into a team that had been building over many, many, many years and using research that we had developed for other projects. And to me, this was the pinnacle of the application of it, because instead of having animals that were doing scenes together or singing together, here we were actually trying to fool the audience into believing that they had a privileged view into the past to be able to be a fly on the wall as these creatures just behaved in a naturalistic way. And the reaction so far is really promising, because people seem to be, the technology seems to disappear. And that's the goal, right? The goal is to make it look like we just had a camera, we went back there, and this should sit alongside of the body of work that these gentlemen have done in the past. And I think it really feels like a continuation of that into another world. And you always have, as an actor, and you always have consultants around that will help inform the story, but everybody knows that should take a back seat to the Hollywood storytelling. And, you're allowed to cut certain corners when you're making a story that has a technical aspect to it. This one, we went the other way. We said, what's the technical justification of it, and how can we build stories on top of that? Much like if you'd find these creatures in the wild, you'd have to work around what they were really doing, and then find a way through the editorial process and the choice of cinematic choices you make, you bring those stories to life. And so that's another thing that we're doing that emulates the documentary workflow, which is completely different than telling a narrative story from scratch or an animation.
Obviously a huge fan of Sir David Attenborough, who is the voice behind many of what I think are the absolute best nature documentaries that have ever been made. So it was a thrill to hear that he was going to be involved in this very unique nature documentary. I wanted to know what Jon's thoughts were about working with a legend like him.
He wants to present the message of science to the next generation. And certainly he's a man who has a big enough body of work and has done enough that, we were very grateful that he was able to contribute to this, because it honestly hearing his voice over it helps it fit within the pantheon of other scientific content that's out there that speaks to a certain level of authenticity for us. And so when he agreed to become a part of this after seeing what we were up to, it made me feel like we were really on the right track.
A young T-Rex, still sporting a juvenile's feathery coat. He's got the killer instinct. But his problem is inexperience. This could take some time.
One thing I really liked about this series was what an update it was from the cinematic vision we've had of dinosaurs really since Jurassic Park or even before. Most of us still picture dinosaurs as big green lizards, but many paleontologists now believe dinosaurs were far more colorful, that they had feathers and maybe even fur, and that's something that they tried to bring to Prehistoric Planet. So I wanted to know what it was like to attempt a very different idea of dinosaurs, sort of a radical vision of dinosaurs in the screen than maybe the what we've seen before.
I guess I grew up thinking dinosaurs lived in jungles and ate ferns, and that was really it. I guess I was still grounded in the old original interpretation of it that slowly evolves. And what was interesting here is that, this is, we definitely step into a lot of conjecture as far as what we think their color array was or the feather patterns. And we could determine a lot from fossil evidence, but you're also looking at the evolutionary trees to see what the closest relatives were. And you look in the real world now to see how these creatures actually behave and how they look and how they're colored. And you could make a lot of inferences. And I think one of the most interesting parts of it for the people that I've shown, give kind of sneak peeks to in my living room, has been the accompanying material, which is, how did you know this? Why did you make this choice? What makes you think a T-Rex could swim? And then we go with each episode, we have accompanying material where we actually show the science behind it. And to me, as somebody who comes from Hollywood, where you could kind of make up anything and put anything on the screen, to show that there are underpinnings here and that there was a tremendous amount of discussion, debate, research, so that everything that we show is plausible with the latest science.
This is sort of a pivot for Favreau, not just in the sense that it's sort of a unique documentary, but also that he's a guy who's really well known for his sci-fi features. So I wondered what the appeal was for him to this era of world history. Why did he want to do this?
There's something that draws you to looking at images of nature, and there's something about dinosaurs inherently. I don't think it's a coincidence that every time there's a new technology, everybody wants to show dinosaurs. The first time they did stop motion, the first time CGI, this has been something that's been a fascination with storytellers and humanity since the original discovery of dinosaurs, before they even knew what dinosaurs were, when they were before they really even understood the nature of evolution and science, when they found the first skull, and and the whole story about how Napoleon captured this skull because they didn't know what it was. I'm getting out of my area of expertise now, but I think even back as far as that, there was our only context for science at the time was the Bible. Was this a Leviathan? What was this? And then slowly, as people were fascinated more and more with these with these fossils, that led to innovations in science because the story and the fascination was what helped motivated it. And so I think if this becomes the door that brings people in through the fascination and enjoying the storytelling, I think it opens up the next generation to becoming curious about science. And I think that that's a very valuable thing to bestow upon the next generation, is this curiosity, so that the next generation could surpass us. But they have to be drawn to it, and you have to show them how exciting it is and how fun it is and how alive it is.
That was Jon Favreau. Make sure to check out his new project, Prehistoric Planet. It is streaming now on Apple TV Plus. It's awesome. Okay, stay tuned. Up next, it's something. Tom Cruise-a-Palooza is coming up.
All those scowling faces, all those furrowed brows, all those burnout cases, make them take a bow. About some smiling faces, come on and show us how. Never mind the braces, love you anyhow. We love you anyhow.
You're listening to Andrew Bird. Song is Make a Picture. Framing it will be expensive, though. That's the issue. Okay, it is time for, we're calling it Tom Cruise-a-Palooza. You know, obviously, it's the summer of cruise right now, with the success of the...
memorable movie in the nation.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Top
the
Gun Maverick,
huge success, Top Gun.
And we got new Mission Impossible coming.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Part 1. Coming down the pike. Can't wait. It's Tom Cruise. It's Tom Cruise world. We're just living
at the end of my viewing at the 3-story tall IMAX theaters, huge, filled stadium of people. Like the closing credits hit, and like people just erupted in applause. I mean, it was like people loved this movie. Oh yeah. Okay, so we got some Tom Cruise trivia. So what we're going to do, Tyler wrote the game, so this will be between Jesse and Emily. We're just going to go back and forth. Potpourri of Tom Cruise questions. Here we go. You're up first, Jesse. Tyler, you can keep score. Tom Cruise's actual height is A, 5'5", B, 5'2", or C, 5'7". Tom Cruise's actual height.
Is it this is me?
Yeah.
I got to go 5'7".
That is correct. You have been able
Points
to
on the board.
correctly assess.
Points on the board.
Hoping I'd get
Something
that
about
one.
his run. He runs with the intensity of a 5'7" man. That's how I determine it. Don't ask me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Number 2. All right, here we go. Emily, you're up. True or false? Tom Cruise is his actual name.
Great question. I'm gonna go false.
That is false, but it's an adaptation of his actual name. His actual name is Thomas Cruise Mapother IV.
I do not blame him for changing his name. I would not say that. That is not a Hollywood name.
I was going to say that sounds like someone who owns like an estate just outside of Sheffield, where that pizza place is.
And they were really mad that the pizza place came in to their village. Yeah. All right, Jesse,
the grounds of the estate.
Which of the following is not an actual Tom Cruise movie? Is it A, Tom Cruise plays a pool savant whose ego and lust for victory gets in the way of his manager's plans to rig pool tournaments?
Well, that's Color of Money. So,
is it B, Tom Cruise plays a disabled Vietnam veteran who turns to anti-war activism after he is discharged from service?
I believe that's Born on the 4th of July.
Or is it C, Tom Cruise plays a professional rock climber who stumbles upon an illegal mining operation while scaling mountains in the American Southwest?
Well, I would definitely watch that movie, and I believe I could be wrong. I think that's the plot of Cliffhanger. If it's not,
good Lord, you are correct on all three.
Yeah, but it's not a Tom Cruise.
Holy cow.
Slice the world right there.
Wow.
80s action movies are my love language. You guys got to remember, I've been locked away with COVID for the better part of about the last 12 days. So it was nothing but a little 80s run.
I tried to dig deep into some like lesser known Tom Cruise, but Jesse was right there.
I mean,
right there.
Good Lord. Okay.
He's a
Emily,
secret Tom Cruise fan.
Emily, you're up. How many movies has Tom Cruise co-starred in with his second wife, Nicole Kidman? Was it A, 1? Was it 1, 2, or 3?
I think 2.
Days of Thunder and this Kubrick movie.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut. Was there a third?
Far and Away. 3 movies. 3 movies. All right, what's the score? 2-1?
It is 2-1.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Jesse, you're up. Which of the following people has never been associated with Scientology? Is it Elvis Presley, Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson, Elon Musk, Charles Manson, or Jerry Seinfeld?
I'm going to go Seinfeld.
Elon Musk.
Really?
Yeah. Seinfeld said he dabbled. He said he dabbled in it.
I dabbled in Scientology.
I would think Elon Musk has already invented his own weird religious cult, but it wouldn't shock me if he was involved with Scientology. But good for him for avoiding it.
Emily,
the quote I found was Charles Manson, who said that he also took some classes and said it was just too weird for him. And
He's too creepy, even for me.
For Charles
Manson.
Emily, you have an opening. Here we go. Tom Cruise famously performs most of his own stunts, including flying his own plane in Top Gun Maverick. Which of the following did he not do? A, jump out of a plane in Mission Impossible Fallout. B, hold his breath for 6.5 minutes in the underwater scene in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. C, jump off a speeding motorcycle in Mission Impossible 2. Or D, scale the world's tallest building, Burj Khalifa, in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Which one did he not do?
I don't think he did the last one.
He did do the last one. He did not jump off the speeding motorcycle.
Interesting. That feels like something he'd want to do.
Seems like that's like a David Blaine trick. That's very impressive.
That's crazy. All right, Jesse, you're up. Which of the following is not an actual Tom Cruise movie? Tom Cruise plays a motivational speaker / pickup artist who teaches other men how to get girls. Or B, Tom Cruise plays a rookie Los Angeles cop suddenly put in charge of a tense hostage negotiation when his veteran partner is killed on the job. Or C, Tom Cruise plays an over-the-hill 80s rock star whose plans to retire for good are complicated when he falls in love with a Rolling Stone reporter. Which one is not an actual Tom Cruise movie?
Man, this one's tough.
Tyler, you got him.
I'm going to say it's the pickup line. The pickup. No, that might be Rain Man. No, it's the pickup line one.
A. That's Magnolia. Yeah. That is an actual Tom Cruise movie.
You're right. I forgot about
the answer. The answer is the hostage negotiation one. The last one, C, was Rock of Ages. So that's a real one.
Yeah. I remember Rock of Ages.
All right, two last ones. Here we go. Emily, you are up. Or one last one, sorry. What's the score right now?
It is still 2-1.
Still 2-1. All right, you can tie it. If we tie, I have a tiebreaker. Here we go. Emily, you can bring this is everything right here. Ugh. Which of these beliefs do not describe Scientology? Is it A, all religions are cultural expressions of Scientology using different names, salvation or nirvana, for the true Scientologist's goal of becoming quote unquote clear? Is it B, all of us are spirit beings who are reincarnated after we die, and advanced Scientologists are able to choose details about their next life? Is it C, Scientology accepts nothing on faith, rather claiming that all its teachings are verified fact proven by its unique technologies? Or is it D, a powerful extraterrestrial being named Xenu ruled a confederation of planets 70 million years ago who brought billions of alien beings to Earth and then killed them with thermonuclear weapons? Which one is not an actual belief of Scientology?
This is a good time to clarify. I know approximately 0 things about Scientology. I can tell you which celebrities are Scientologists, and that's the extent of my knowledge. What was the second one again?
All of us are spirit beings who are reincarnated after we die, and advanced Scientologists are able to choose details about their next life.
Sure, I'll go with that one.
That is an actual belief of Scientology. The fake one was the first one, that all religions are cultural expressions of Scientology using different names.
The more you know.
There you go. Jesse, you win
Jesse
the Tom
takes
Cruise
it.
Palooza.
You
Congratulations.
deserve that win, honestly.
Yeah,
Cruise to victory.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go. Thank you, Tyler. It's a real honor. If
winning
the
this
danger
game for
zone.
Jesse was mission possible. Okay, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Jon Favreau for joining us today. Make sure to check out his new series, Prehistoric Planet. It is streaming now on Apple TV Plus. It is very impressive. Also, a couple of updates. Head over to relevantmagazine.com to see all of our daily content and sign up for Relevant Plus to get exclusive features on our site. You can even get an enhanced version of our digital magazine, which the current issue features conversations with Bob Goff, Ryan Reynolds, Adam McKay, so many more. Also, Relevant Plus gives you an exclusive podcast and an exclusive edition of this podcast. You will get it released a couple of days early, and it's ad-free. If that sounds good to you, go check out Relevant Plus. All the plans and information are right there at our website. Just click on the Relevant Plus tab. Also, while you're at the site, make sure to head over to the faith section to see our daily devotional series, Deeper Walk, which is presented by Lumo. There's a morning devotional email that they support, and also an email you can sign up for to get it sent to your inbox every weekday morning. If you don't want to do that, you can just check out the daily devotional right there on the faith homepage at our site. Hey, and if you like the show, we've been mentioning this for a few months now. If you like the show, tell people about it. Tweet about it, post the new episode on Facebook or your Instagram story, and most importantly, leave a review and rate it on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen. It helps people find us, and we appreciate the feedback. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Emily Brown.
I'm Tyler Huckabee.
We will see you next time, and see you in Paris, Tyler. We'll see you in Florida, Emily, and we will see you COVID-free, Jesse.
Yeah, very soon. Very soon. And thanks for bearing with me today, folks. It's good to be back. Good to be back.
We missed it.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Wonder if we can make some blue tape you can eat.
Relevant Podcast Network. Shopify is a global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business and sell more with less effort thanks to the Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/redcircle, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/redcircle now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/redcircle.